What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Alright guys, so I want to sit down and talk about Aquaman Rebirth #1, the one-shot. Now guys, before we dive into this book, I just want to say my channel is going to go through a reboot. What I mean is that I was looking back at my older videos from months ago, and I said my older videos to me personally sucked. I did not like them. And I said, let me go back and redo a bunch of my videos. Basically, going back and recovering DC Rebirth from the very beginning all the way up to where we are right now in DC Rebirth. And so I said, I want to give the guys out there who do watch my channel, who do subscribe to my channel, better videos. Yes, I do know I only have like 300 people actually subscribe to my channel. Yes, I do know only a few people watch my videos, but I still believe that you guys out there who do support me here and there deserve better videos. And so I said, okay, we're going to sit down and redo Aquaman. And the reason why is because, guys, when DC Rebirth started, like 2 years ago, basically that is when I got back into comics. And usually when it comes to a person getting back into comics, or just when it comes to a new comic event, they sample. What I mean is that when DC Rebirth started, they gave us a bunch of one-shots saying, hey, here's Aquaman, Superman, Batman, Flash, you name it, they got a one-shot for DC Rebirth. To have fans go out there, pick these one-shots up to basically sample, to see what will they like and what will they hate. And so that's what I did. Basically, I went out there, I sat down, I sampled different one-shots to see what books will I like when they go on to their actual ongoing series, and which book I would not like. And so when I sat down in the very beginning of DC Rebirth, Aquaman to me personally was the best title from DC Rebirth. Like, I love Batman, I love Flash, Superman, but when it came down to it, Aquaman and my girl, Wonder Woman, were the two best series in the very beginning of DC Rebirth. And so I said, let's go ahead and go back and cover Aquaman from the very beginning all the way to the point where we are right now in DC Rebirth. Now, when it comes to DC Comics and Aquaman, for the past 7 years. For the past 7 years, you had DC been trying to rebuild Aquaman. What I mean is that basically DC looked around and said, okay, we have Batman, we have Superman, Wonder Woman, we even have the Flash, Green Lantern. We have these characters out there, but we don't have Aquaman. Like, his fan base is small. And so when the New 52 started back in 2011 all the way up to right now, they've been trying to rebuild him, make him better, give him better stories, so people will say, hey, you know what, we like Aquaman. And the reason why his reputation is so bad right now is because in the 1970s and 80s, he was known as the superhero who's from the ocean, who's rides seahorses, and basically talks to fish. That was all he was known for in the 70s, in the 80s. The 90s, they tried to make him look all edgy and cool. It worked out for the most part, but he was still known as the superhero who talks to fish, the superhero who rides seahorses. That's all he does. And so DC, ever since 2011, when the New 52 started, they said, listen, we are going to rebuild Aquaman, give him better stories, make him a character that people will care for, that people will say, you know what, he is just as good as Batman or Superman or Wonder Woman. Let's build this character up to those other characters' level. That's their goal ever since 2011. Now, it has been working for the most part, but he is still known as that superhero who's just out there. That superhero where, yes, he has gotten better stories, but he's still not loved as much as Batman and Superman and the Flash and other characters. And so with DC Rebirth, it's them saying, let's continue that trend. Let's keep building him up and make him better. We did good in the New 52. Like, no joke, guys. Go back and read New 52 Aquaman. It's amazing. But anyways, they're saying we did good in the New 52 Aquaman. Let's continue that trend with DC Rebirth and continue to build him up and make him better. Now, the reason why I said those things about Aquaman and DC want to give him better stories is because this book right here, it continues that trend. It's them saying, let's keep giving them good stories to make that fan base stronger for Aquaman. Now, in this book right here, in the very beginning, we learn three things. The first thing is that we learn that somebody is talking to us, that somebody's telling us, hey, I'm going to break down who Aquaman is right now in DC Comics, in this world. Right now, he's a superhero the world hates or love. They love him because he does help out and save the world. He has fought alongside Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. But at the same time, they still hate him. Because, guys, a year ago in DC Comics timeline, a year ago, in a story called Throne of Atlantis, basically, Atlantis flooded Gotham and Metropolis, killing millions of people. And so the world hates him for that. Even though he was not king back then, his stepbrother was king back then. They still blame him because he is from Atlantis. He's now the king of Atlantis. And so whoever is talking to us right now, they're telling us, yes, he is a superhero who is loved. But at the same time, he is also hated by the world from the past of Atlantis. Because Atlantis had flooded Gotham, flooded Metropolis, and flooded, I want to say, Boston also. But basically, the world's saying, yes, he is a superhero. He has fought alongside the Justice League. But at the same time, we still can't trust him because his people before him flooded 3 major cities, killing millions of people. And that thought is still in their head. Now, the second thing we do learn about this book right here, about Aquaman, is that right now, he is trying to stop a terrorist group called the Deluge. Now, this terrorist group, they are basically from Atlantis. Now, 2 things. The first thing, they hate the surface world. They hate the surface world so much, they will go out of their way to basically just bomb the surface world with Atlantis technology. The second thing is that they are from the 9th house, the lowest level of Atlantis. So basically, they're the low class of Atlantis. Now, these guys, they're saying, listen, we hate you. We hate you. You are a false king. 1, because you help out the surface more than you help Atlantis. But 2, it's because you're from the surface. You're a half-breed. And we cannot accept that. And so basically, you have the Deluge trying to basically attack a nearby coastline and kill millions of people who live on the surface world because they hate the surface world. At the same time, they want to get payback against Aquaman, a man who's born both Atlantis and surface world, but from the surface world. Now, this is where I say we are watching Aquaman grow. We are watching him develop. We are seeing him basically turn into the character he wants to be. And the reason why I say those things right there is because basically we come to find out that Aquaman has opened up an embassy. And the way we find out is that while he's fighting against the terrorist group, the Deluge, he is talking to Mera. And Mera right now is back at the embassy running the programs there. And so we come to find out that basically he has made this embassy to build a connection between the 2 worlds, the surface world and the Atlantis. I froze there. But anyways, he built the embassy to basically be a connection between the two worlds. And that's why I say this is him developing. This is him, growing up. He's learning new ways to build that connection that he always wants to have between the two worlds, the surface world and Atlantis. And the embassy is his new way of doing that. It's his way to say, listen, this was made to build that connection so US and the rest of the world is not afraid of Atlantis, but at the same time to have Atlantis people not be mad at the surface world. And so this right here, this embassy is basically a bridge. Now, to go ahead and wrap this video up so that we can move on to the next video, we have Aquaman taking Mera to a nice quiet dinner. Now guys, this dinner is very important because basically it's Mera telling us, the readers, that basically Aquaman comes to this one restaurant to feel grounded, to feel normal. Because the thing is, guys, Aquaman is just one man, yes, but he is trying to carry two worlds on his back, the world of Atlantis and the world of the surface world. And so he comes here when he just wants to relax, when he just wants to feel normal, because day by day he has the weight of two worlds on his back basically pushing down on him. And so this dinner is basically telling us, the readers, that a superhero like him needs a break, that he needs time to get away from both sides, Atlantis and the surface world. And that's why I say this dinner is very important, but also because we have Mera and Aquaman talking about her being there for the long run, being there for him to the very end. Because right now, this is just the beginning for him to basically use this embassy to build a connection between the US and Atlantis. This is just the beginning. But the thing is, she's telling him that, listen, I'm going to be here for you to the very end. No matter what happens, no matter what happens, I'm going to be there for you to the very end. And so to go ahead and close this book off, if you guys remember in the very beginning of my video, not very beginning, but probably 3-4 minutes in my video, I said we have somebody basically breaking down Aquaman for us, that somebody is talking about Aquaman throughout this book, that somebody telling us who he is and what he's trying to represent. And the thing is, the person that was talking to us throughout this whole book and trying to say who Aquaman is, what kind of character he is, we come to find out it is Black Manta. That Black Manta was basically the person talking to us throughout this whole book, basically telling us who Aquaman is and what kind of character he is. But we also come to find out that Black Manta is planning to attack Aquaman at his brand new embassy. The question is though, how? How is he going to attack Aquaman at his brand new embassy? Now, to go ahead and wrap this story up, I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. So guys, go ahead and leave me a like, go ahead, subscribe, and also guys, share my video if you like my video and you think that people out there will also like my video. Like I said guys, leave me a like, subscribe, and share my video. Also guys, any suggestions on books I should read, let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But anyways guys, I'm out of here, and I will see you guys on the next comic book video. Have a good day guys. Later.